The next film I watched was, as they say in the film business, another A24 film. This one is uh, a new foreign feature called Lamb, and it stars the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoos, Numi,
Repass.
yeah, Rapace, and uh, in this movie, she and her husband are farmers, right? And they raise goats and just live their lives. It's a pretty boring life. They live in like the middle of nowhere and just like kind of live their days. And a miracle happens. They are gifted with a a child that they think that they can have, or at least they take this newborn lamb that is born and make it their own child. John, I don't know how much you know about this movie. Do you know anything?
Very little.
Okay. Do you mind if I? Because like,
That's fine.
all right. So so I guess 30 minutes into this movie, you start to see that this isn't a normal lamb. Um, this,
I guess it sounds like you're getting into some mild spoilers, which is fine with me because I don't know that I'm going to see this movie. But if you want to see it, then maybe this is probably your time to jump out, right?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you've seen the trailer or were online when the trailer came out, you probably know this.
hmm
Which,
just consider that if you're going to continue listening.
right. So, yeah, the camera finally reveals that the lamb has a human body, but with a lamb head and like one arm is like a lamb arm. And they've decided to raise this creature as their own, whether or not it's just an act of God or an act of Satan, to bring this creature um, to their lives. And there's a lot of other elements that come into the story where um, it's like separated by chapters. So like the first chapter has sort of like seeing this child come to be and seeing the early days, where the second chapter brings another character into the fold and how he reacts to meeting this half lamb, half human child, and what goes through the actions there. And it's funny, even though like the main character in this case is creepy, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a horror film. A24 has probably been marketing it as a horror film, but it's more like scary, or not scary, but like maybe eerie or like uncomfortable than truly um, horrific. And I think that's a good idea to make sure that's known, and for people to know that it's a subtitled movie. What else did I want to say about it? Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I didn't see like some twists coming,
Uh-huh.
which were pretty shocking and pretty great. Most people on the internet will probably look at this and say like, "Oh, this is the most A24 movie that ever A24, right?" Like that kind of
Yeah.
saying. But no, I think it was pretty good, and it brings a lot of interesting questions through its runtime. But John, as a point to the trailer, I wanted to add, um, it's weird for a movie like this, and it's like it comes down to how much do you want to sell the movie, because obviously it's a much easier sell to horror people or to people interested in the macabre if you show them that there is a strange beast in this movie. But if you decide not to show them, they're surprised 30 minutes into it, but then you really have nothing else to sell this movie other than like two farmers in
Right.
a strange place. So what do you think? Do you think they did the best trying to sell it the way that they could, or do you think you would try to keep surprises like that to the side?
I mean, I'm thinking of Catfish, which was like, if you remember the trailer for that which documentary, like, they didn't say anything, and he just was like, it's called Catfish, and it's the craziest twist you'll ever see. And like they've turned that into like literally a word, like that means something.
Yeah,
And I think that like withholding, you could really build something pretty pretty cool instead of probably getting the same people who see every A24 movie in theaters to see this one, right?
yeah. I mean, like,
But I don't know, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
yeah, and I mean, like, it was one thing to say, like, oh, if you're interested in this actress and just like seeing what they do next and knowing that today 24 movie, maybe try not to watch a trailer, but like once the trailer came out, the image was everywhere, and
Uh-huh.
it was hard to separate it. And I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer. And luckily, the movie surpasses knowing that information, but
Uh-huh.
it's still kind of a bummer in my eyes.
Yeah.